Hey, welcome back. We're back, y'all. This is 4 times dope. We've been gone for a long time, and like I said, we're trying to end and put a bow on this. So I want to say salutations to everyone. How everybody's doing?
Hello, friends.
What's up,
family?
Yeah, good.
What's going on?
Yeah, man. So like I said, it's just real good. We recorded in the beautiful campus of North Carolina Central, the genesis of where we all met.
Yes, indeed.
Say in the mid-90s, and like I said, years later, we still rocking strong and just hanging in there, yo. So yeah, man, we're excited, man. We might not sound excited, but we're excited.
No, we're excited, Kwame.
Yeah.
But this is new for us. We're getting our sea legs back. We're trying to figure out how this thing works.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
How you work that muscle? I don't know. We're gonna figure it out.
We're gonna figure it out.
Yeah,
we're gonna go with it.
And a lot has happened since the last time. A lot, from politics to personal lives, since the last time we recorded too. So we just gotta kind of bring it back.
Yeah. But even before we get into that, like personally, like Jamie, what you been doing? It's been like 2-3 years since we last time recorded. Like, catch the audience on what's been going on with Jamie Patterson, man.
Well, I'll thank you for that. I'll tell you this much: life is getting better. My mom had a major stroke in March of 24, so a lot has changed for us. Thank God for my sister and her family. My sister Janine has really taken on that whole situation. So she lives with my sister now and her family, and we're adjusting to it daily. So you're just trying to get back to what most people like is natural, like what's the routine of life. Mm-hmm. And now that my mom is no longer, her stroke is it's not good. The upside is she's not dead. That's
the blessing.
As bad as it sounds, but she's still here. She understands. She can read, but she can't talk. Yeah. So she's having a conversation. She can say Jamie, but she can't give me a conversation. She's trying, but she's speaking a whole nother language. Yeah. And I thank God for my sister because I wouldn't know how to handle that. But my sister is really doing a good job of that.
Yeah. Shout out to Sean.
Is she getting speech or anything?
Yeah, speech. Yeah, we have in-house
like aid or something.
Aid that comes by that helps her to do the motion, and then they walk her. So she
like OT or PT or something like that.
Yeah, you go. Okay. So she has no real use of her right side. Mm-hmm. But my mama can still read, which is crazy to me. She can read and she can laugh at the right thing. Right. Mm-hmm. So she's here, but it's like on the other side of whatever that is, which is insane to me. But
she's just saying she just got some limitations.
That's the way to look at it.
Yeah.
And the upside too is her brain activity. She's processing.
Yeah. She is still processing.
Right.
Faith and Madison are doing great. Madison's trying to get her into Central this fall.
Okay.
Faith and I are doing really good as far as our relationship, and business is great. People finally starting to spend again, which is we're holding back in January and February, but luckily they're back.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's all right, y'all been waiting. Come on, let's go. So that's what we are now.
All right. I think since we last recorded, I know that we last recorded, Kashara was getting ready to make a run for Mr. NCCU. So it's been that long, and and since then, Kashara, can you tell us your life, since that period of time? Man?
Of course, yes. So, like you mentioned, I was starting my campaign for Mr. NCCU, and I won.
Yeah,
so,
definitely, man. Clap it up for
yes.
Yeah,
go mob.
For sure. And I'm proud of that win. I currently hold the title for a male candidate raising the most money on campus.
Can you say how much that was?
Yeah, $40K.
$40K.
Yeah,
$40,000.
$40,000 raise. You working hard, boy. You was an amateur. You was in the streets, pavement, man. I was like, dang.
Yeah, and I thank y'all because y'all definitely helped me put in some work. So I could not have done it without y'all. Trust me.
Still running for government, because you can raise some money.
Yeah, you like the 34th person to say that. So.
Yeah, you should. You should be running for local government.
I learned a lot from your campaign too.
Did you?
Just how much work it is, but also I learned in terms of what people's perception of money, in terms of a candidate. If you're a quality candidate, I don't care who their person is, they're gonna shift those funds to whoever they feel like. And
that is true.
So I learned a lot.
I learned a lot too about myself. A whole lot about myself. Yeah, exactly. So I did that. Won the campaign. Then even in the role of being Mr. Alumni, it was work too. And I think that's the misconception people have. Like once you win, it ain't just like, oh, you won. Like you won, you still got to do the work, to continue after that, which is, just trying to get people involved, alumni involvement, still trying to raise money, for
service
the school.
ambassador for the university.
Yeah, basically an ambassador for the school.
Yeah.
So, so I did that. And what else has been going on? Personally, like, family is good. We definitely in a...
Blip. This nigga
we
here.
got bloopers. It's all good. I'm in a transition right now with a teenager, which I'm sure y'all probably are going through it, but transition of just being a high schooler and female just moods. You don't know how to navigate and shift. Like one day you good, one day you not. You know,
minute you good,
right?
One day, 1 second you good, and it's like, well, it's all over now.
What happened? So that was a transition. No one prepared me for that part.
No.
But like I said, it's like no one can really prepare you to be a parent. Period. It's like you get to certain stages, and then that's what it is. You deal with it, and everybody's experience is different. You know what I mean? So overall, it's good though. It's just we just in a different stage in our life now. We got a high schooler and a middle schooler, so that's where we are. Professionally, I'm trying to pivot into some new areas. In my life, I finally just paid the fee to take my licensure test, for my license, because I graduated in 2017, but I never took the test, out of fear, because I'm not a good test taker. But I was like, I went to school, I paid this money.
Some background on how bad we are at testing? We had to come to Central. To take the test, the ACT together. That's how I met Kashara.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
We met each other at the ACT. We had to come to campus to take the test, and I ended up getting a 20. No, that's too high.
You had to get a 17.
17.
I got a 19.
Yep.
I got 2 points above.
Yep, same. Yep.
So you're very right. He's not lying.
Yeah, I'm not a good test taker at all. So that was my
Me either.
fear of taking this test. But I was like, I went to school, paid this money. Let me just take it. Even if I don't use the license, at least I can say
take
I've
the test
done
and
it.
just figure it out.
Exactly, and that's where I am right now.
Okay.
Trying to figure that out too. So overall, life is good. So we're just trying to pivot and make some things happen.
Yeah. And I know that with Jermaine, you started like your editing business for helping other publishers with books and stuff. So can you tell a little bit more about what's going on with that, or just in general what's been going on with you?
Yeah. So let me come back a little bit. First, as far as like professionally, work is awesome. I've been able to tap into like other areas of work as being in terms of being a professor, and other departments have been reaching out, thankfully, reaching out for me to do certain lectures and to like help with their agendas. And more recently, I think it's the School of Education. One of those departments, the School of Ed, reached out for me to give a series of lectures on James Baldwin. And it was only about maybe 15 or 20 of us selected, and I was one of the ones selected. And out of the 20 or 15, I think it was only 2 black men, and I was one of the 2.
That's what I'm talking about.
So that's been going well, and that's giving me leverage to do other things.
Okay.
I'm actually finishing another book now. I'm about 85-90% finished with that. The title of this book is called Bulletproof Blood. And it's a comprehensive reflection of racism and how it inflamed post Barack Obama. So when Barack left, just how everything just kind of went haywire, and just how racism now is just
In your face.
It's in your face, but it's inflamed through legislation and fine print.
Yep.
And then lastly, I finally, after having this concept of being an entrepreneur, right? I was always told, get paid from your talents. So I finally started my own book proofreading and book editing company. And at this point, I've had, since 2020, I solidified it in April 2024. I am on my 10th client now, who's an attorney in Raleigh, by the way.
Okay.
I've had 2 celebrity clients. I signed some NDAs I can't really talk about, but
I was about to say, can you give us a name?
Off camera.
Yeah, off camera. But anyway, I've been blessed. It's been awesome, and it's something that I love to do, so it's not work. But outside of that, and staying healthy, I changed my workout, y'all. I got away from a lot of I still do cardio, don't get it twisted, but I do more swimming. I swim like 2 or 3 times a week, sit in a sauna, and that's it. Other than that, everything's well. No complaints,
Good.
man.
Hey, man, y'all don't be trying to steal my man's book title either, man.
Oh yeah, don't be trying to take my stuff. And I have a copyright on it too, by the way, too.
Yeah.
But don't be trying to take my stuff. But I'm excited. I'm super. Let me say this. I'm super excited about this particular book because I have a friend of mine who's a best-selling author, and he's a professor at Davidson College by the name of Isaac Bailey. He is actually writing the foreword for this book, and that means the world to me. It's a big deal. Under him, it would be somebody like Cornel West.
Can we talk about how did he write your forward?
What Cornel West
Your first
reviewed,
book,
he
right?
reviewed my first book. He's one of my mentors. He reviewed my first book, and he gave me a great blurb on the front of the book.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Blurb, okay.
And can we get the first and the book name of that book?
From Poverty to Prosperity, a ghetto exit strategy is a rite of passage. But Isaac Bailey is a heavy hitter, man. He's a former professor at Columbia. He's at Davidson now. He's a full-time professor and a full-time journalist.
Oh, wow.
And he's won all types of awards, man. And he's a good folks. But
That's what's up.
yeah, we rocking and rolling, man. We staying focused.
Yeah.
So what's been going on with you?
Yeah, I
Mr.
mean,
King?
it just real briefly, you know what I'm saying? Like, my stuff is just, work, serving people who need, need help and trying to,
Right.
be a, civil servant to people, and then the focus is family, really, So, got my son, since growing up. Probably last time we recorded, he might have been like 2, now he's 5. Looks like he about 7 if you see him.
He do look like he about 7.
Yeah, he's tall, man, and
Happy baby.
happy kid and everything else. I'm like the little league dad, though, like in the jump, like help coaching soccer, basketball.
Teaching them plays, dog.
Yo, man, it's rough, man. I'm like Kwame Knight out there jump, man. I be getting in my feelings, man. I be getting upset.
They don't listen.
Do you pass the ball hard to the kids when they ain't listening?
Yeah, man. Yo, I be
Chest
into
pat
it,
their
man.
ass.
So, yeah. So, them kids are coached differently now, man. How it was when we growing up. So, I got to kind of like temper my emotions and how I deal with it.
5,
but-
Dad.
Yeah, I know, right?
That part.
That part, he's 5. I'm teaching him like he's 15 or something.
Can't be
but
talking to him like Samuel Jackson out there.
exactly, man. But but I enjoy seeing that. I enjoy just seeing him growing up. And that's been like the primary focus, man. Just trying to just travel and just do those type of things and just raise my kid, man. But when I'm seeing all this, man, I just also realize I'm like, yo, I feel so old, man. And different fronts. You know what I mean? One is just, and it's funny, just kind of like pull the camera back prior to us talking, whatever and stuff. Prior to just recording, we're talking about elements. We're talking about all kind of things to treat those elements and stuff like that. Remedies, all kind of, just things that, that we had to worry about like in our 20s and 30s and now that we're in our 40s, whatever and stuff. That like, yo, we giving all kind of tips, all kind of stuff. So like, and it's just weird, man. Cause you just wake up one day, you feel good. So the next day, nothing could happen, and then it's like your back hurt, your leg hurt. You know what I'm saying? Those certain things. I don't know. Jermaine might not go through that so much. Cause Jermaine pretty, probably the most fit out of all of us. You know what I'm saying? But just the day to day, man. Like learning how to take care of yourself, man. Is trying to figure those things out, man. So that's the physical side of feeling old for me. I don't know if anybody kind of want to go to their physical elements.
Yeah, I mean, to your it's everything you just said. My thing was when I was younger. I always say I want to stay ahead of the curve. I don't want to have to get older and be like shit, or a doctor tell me, hey man, you need to do X, Y, Z. I always just wanted to kind of be ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are times I might have a little ache here and there, but
A little ache.
yeah, nothing to be like.
It's midget, yeah.
Just
small little thing.
I might go hard or something, but no, I get it. But the main thing is we are cognizant of what we need to do to stay healthy, right? So
Yeah. But then also, it's not even just the physical part, it's the social part. So it's just kind of like, I know Kashara probably been past his stage because his kids a little older, but like in terms of like now, once my kids, like I said, just pre-K age, but like going from daycare to pre-K age, and now it's just like, okay, it's a social aspect now. Like you got the friends, you got like the like now we part of this, I guess, better like work like a mom group. I mean, my wife kind of handles that, but I be going to some of the events and stuff and everything. Yeah, and I actually kind of enjoy it because it's always something new and everything else. But coming and being in our 40s, we're like like the old heads out of the group, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
like,
wow.
so like, well, while we're in our 40s, like Jameson's friends is probably like their parents are like in their like early 30s, maybe
yeah.
mid 30s the most.
I got you.
The most, at that whatever and stuff. So we like, like the old heads. I'm like, dang, and it was funny because like one of Jameson's friends' parents that got married over like the end of the summer. Had a beautiful wedding and like and somewhere in Baltimore. It was a part of Baltimore I ain't never been to before.
White part.
It was somewhere. It was clean. It was
Yeah, the
you know
white
what I'm
part.
saying. It was safe. It was vibrant.
It was safe.
And
On the other side of the wire.
it wasn't that. It was real nice. I mean, they did it up, man. I'm talking about they had like monogram freaking butterflies flying through the like botanical gardens type stuff. Like it was really dope, whatever and
How
stuff.
much that cost?
So it was like a moment where like the groom was coming through, whatever, and you know how you play the song that walks out, whatever the case may be. So a man came out there and they played this song, and like the whole like audience was singing the song word to word and
white
everything.
people
It was, no, they black.
Really?
Well, the wife, she's Latin. So she's from a Central American country, but the husband, he's from Baltimore, I believe.
Okay, all right.
And I mean the whole crowd was just singing the song, whatever. I'm looking around, looking like, dang. I mean, they're singing word to word, and I'm looking like I have no idea what the song is. I was so out the loop, you know what I mean? I'm up here, Shazam, 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 whatever like that. And I was like, it was a song. I found out it was a guy called Friday. Friday.
yeah.
I can't think of the name of the song, When It Comes to You or
totally
something like
not
that. Yo, I had no idea. I was looking around like who was. I didn't even hear it. I never heard it on the phone, but I heard it until even to that time.
Into that.
Yeah, and I was just like, yo, I remember being like the person, you be on top of what's new coming out. And even that time, that song was, I think, was older too. Like, I had no clue.
Right.
And that jump was just like, yo, I'm getting so old. Like, yo, even the social part, you know what I mean? Like, just not being the know, you know what I'm saying? It's like going to work, coming home.
You're not wrong.
Going to eat.
You're not wrong. There is a level up under us that we don't acknowledge, and I have
all.
to think about that often. Like, from, say, 40 to 30, those people I don't even think about.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's they got a whole life to live.
Right.
Well, I'm not considering it, but they got that whole, like, I don't know who this guy is, but I heard of him.
Right.
And I don't care. Moreover, I do not care.
Yeah, you're
their-
fine with it, right?
But that's their life, right?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Right.
Because they got all this music and stuff. Like, I've never heard of this nigga.
At all.
Who are these people? And it's like, well, it's not my business. 'Cause the music sounds like shit to me.
Yeah.
It's all bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, you're not even singing.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear it.
And
So I'm with you. Yeah, we are getting old.
And to that point too, I think the music, like society that's 10 years back from us, like it doesn't mentally connect with us or emotionally. It's like you said, the music's trash. This shit is trash.
It is.
But it's just like
They love it, though.
Yeah, it's no substance and quality to it, I think too. That's why we just don't have no connection to it.
I ain't gonna disagree or agree because it's not the same when we was coming up. Like even when we was at Central, it was not the same.
Yeah.
But some of these songs are kind of catchy. They got catchy hooks, catchy beats, to keep me bopping.
Yeah.
Maybe because just where I am when it comes to music.
Yeah.
If it got something I can bop to, I'm gonna do it. Plus, I got kids who in that era,
Got
so
you.
Big
I
difference.
hear the
Absolutely.
stuff
Do they play music
know.
in around the house?
all the time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Madison keeps it in the room and it's
Yeah.
in her headphones. So I don't hear it.
Yeah, all the time. But I do too, though. So a lot of stuff that we listen to,
Yeah.
my kids know. What
Okay,
I mean?
okay.
And some of
Definitely.
their friends will be like, "How you know that?" Because their parents listen.
Right,
to it.
right.
Gotcha.
That makes
You
sense.
know
That
what I
makes
mean?
sense. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
But the element of getting older, you do feel older when you hear certain stuff. You're like, what's that? You know, what I
And it's
mean?
bad.
Right.
Well, you know what? I do want
And
kind of.
everybody in the room singing is like, what is that?
Yeah.
Right.
But you know what I'm finding out though, even with that, is just that I don't listen too much to the radio, but like the stuff they play on the radio and the stuff that they improving, a lot of that I don't care for. But there is a lot, in my opinion, a lot of like artists that you just never heard of. That's probably younger that actually can sing. That's really
Yeah.
talented.
Oh, yeah.
You're just not gonna hear it on the regular airwaves. You know what I'm saying? But
You
if
got to find it on YouTube.
If you able to find the stuff or like listen to what's
social
going
media.
on, and then know, oh, that artist, that person's pretty talented, and the person actually can really sing.
Right.
But you're never going to hear that on the regular airwaves. You know what I'm saying? Like, or rarely hear it. If
Yeah.
you know,
I'm not listening to the
And,
airwaves.
yeah,
I'll
me.
tell you that.
And the way music comes to us is different too. But yeah, I'm not searching for that. Like if it's not on my phone or playlist, there is some stuff that is catchy. I ain't gonna lie, but I ain't going to buy it.
By and large.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's a lot of auto tuning, and I mean they're not talking about nothing, and they're never on beat like Silk the Shock. This is an era of Silk the Shock rappers.
And it sounds the same. It all sounds the same.
They're
It
all
sounds
around the
very
beat,
similar.
never on the beat, and the beat is always.
But you know what, man? We are parents, man. Because that's the same thing they probably said
I'll be
about
first
us
to
when
you.
we would listen
That
to
is
that,
true.
listen to that hippity hoppity or what stuff like that.
DOS
They talking about-
effects
and they
and-
talking
But at least
about
there
it's
was-
not real music.
But there was some.
It was melodic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so
That
it's all
sums it up.
perspective, you know, and everything else.
Depends on who you ask.
But in terms of just like even with just us feeling old, man, I know that it's been a big shift in the channel, and I feel like we need to address this probably early on. Is that you know, I think when we last probably Biden was the president, and not that I was super happy with him too much though, but we went from not being happy to almost like doomsday now. You know what I'm saying, with this new administration with Trump, and I guess it's kind of like, you know, want to kind of feel like, what's y'all theories about like what do you think this administration is going to do, or what's happening in real time to this country, and then even what's happening now, a year from now or 2 years from now, like what does this country looks like for the people? You know what I'm saying, under this administration, like what do you think is going to possibly happen? And I don't know.
Well, let me say this first and foremost. I never been so much into politics in my life until this last election.
Right.
Like, I never thought I used to joke my Aunt Mildred because she watched CNN all the time. I'm like, why are you watching this all the time?
Right.
I turned into that person. I was on CNN every night, MSNBC, all of them, just trying to keep up what's going on. But I think for me, what shocked me the most about what has happened, and because again, I'm not a political person, I just find it very strange. Well, not even strange, maybe just where people are. Some of the things that this administration has done so far, right?
We're in month 3.
Barely a month.
But, right. They have done, and some of the people that it's affecting, and I think it may affect everybody at some different stage, but to hear certain people go out and say, I voted for him, I don't regret voting for him, but at the same time, but I'm having to dip in my savings in my retirement because of what he's doing right now. But they still support him. I don't understand that. Like, what do you mean you don't regret it, but you've been affected by it?
That's the cult.
I don't understand that.
You took it out of my mouth, man. It's the cult.
That's the cult part.
They're in the cult.
Yeah.
They're locked in. I'll say this much. These uneducated folk treated this election as a sports event, and it's not.
Right.
It's your actual life. It's not blue versus red. It should be like what works best for you going forward. And they decided otherwise because they wanted to use the thing that's baked into our society for how long have we been in the country? 400 years?
400 years.
So what came with that was racism. It's baked into it.
Yeah.
It came.
Yeah.
It's
It's a
the
feature.
eggs. It's the flowers.
It's a feature, just like
It
leather
goes
seats to a
into
car. Right.
So tried and true, and we can't blame it on our grandparents anymore. These are our people.
Right.
These are 45-year-olds and 50 and 60-year-olds who did this to you. I'm like, why would you choose to do this to yourself?
Right.
But it's a feature. It goes with the program.
Yeah.
But they're going to run out of space at this point because you're fucking with the veterans now.
Right.
Them niggas is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You think
And train
That's
killers.
what I'm saying.
you train some killers and now you're going to take
You
away?
can take away the support and help you give them to
Okay,
be,
let's just-
to function in this world.
Right.
So we're at a place where it's not if but when.
Yeah.
Shit will go left soon.
Yeah. It's bending left now.
I mean, as far as for them.
Yeah.
And listen, if it happens, it happens. If it's a stroke, we'll take it.
Right.
But I'm saying that these people are not going to, you can't stand by on the sideline and you're going, like, what does he have on us what does Trump have on us to allow this to happen for so long?
Well,
Good.
so to your point, Jamie, and to Kasharo, so first and foremost, you know how, and we were conditioned to believe this, that you got to make good grades because grades is an extension of your identity, right? Grades, basically, if you make good grades, forget like aptitude. Grades just mean, it symbolizes that you are in a certain social status or whatever. And that's how it is with politics. Some people, uneducated people, voting for a rich person who doesn't have a poor interest.
Right.
But that's how cults work. Cults work like you feel like you are a part of this particular brand, so it's a part of your identity. Right.
And you're not with us.
Right. And the other thing is, if you understand, listen, Donald Trump gave props to Hitler. Okay. He gave props to Hitler. And he was sued in the late 70s for like secretly, clandestinely discriminated against a black woman trying to get him with his property. So my point is, he's a narcissist. We know that too. But he's an opportunist. So my point is, all this shit makes sense to me because he's using white supremacy and Christians, evangelical Christians. They don't care about scriptures. They just need a leader who is the Jesus in man form.
Yeah.
That's why he got white women to vote for him who voted for a rape. How are you a woman and you're voting for a rapist? No, he's a convicted rapist. Yeah. It has nothing to do. That's why the evangelical Christianity, he won that because they don't care about policy. They care about this white man is our Jesus. So my point is, to everything he's doing, his goal is to be Putin and to be a Hitler and to use the American flag as target practice, and he's doing that shit.
Yeah.
But it's not gonna last long. To my point, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I think even furthermore too. I think just to kind of say like the elephant in the room. I mean, and granted, before I say this, I know a lot of black people. Well, not a lot, but well enough black people probably voted for him, which I don't understand at all. Whatever and stuff. I don't get that part. But even the fact, I think it goes back. It's almost like a counter. We call it cultural push in a sense, where like the pushback of, all right, you had a black man that was president. Just nobody probably would ever had imagined that even like 20-something years ago. I mean, I didn't even imagine it as a black man. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't think it was possible.
Not in this system.
So a lot of white people didn't expect that, and then the counter, push was that with the Tea Party and all this stuff going on. So now it's like preservation of race. We got to save our race because they know by 2040 something, whatever, they're going to be like the minority race. So while you're pushing the immigration part, where you're trying to get the migrants out the country and stuff like that, or illegal migrants to the country, they having an issue with in terms of like I think a lot of the interracial stuff too. So now your white daughter is messing with Jerome, you know what I'm saying? And now you have these black kids.
Right.
So that makes us less and less of a population what's going on. And we need to hold on to this power.
And to that point, I want to say this too. I think more people voted against Kamala than, I think the intention was to vote against her, even if they didn't really want to vote for Trump, because there's no way she should have lost in the fashion that she did. And I think a lot of black men should have got out of their emotions in terms of how they feel about black women and pushed her across the finish line.
Sad, man.
Anybody
more
but
misogynistic than we are
it was
racist.
Yeah, I think it's sad.
More black men voted for him,
Absolutely.
and then 1.5 million people didn't vote at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was 1 million votes that she didn't get.
That she could have got. She could have got, exactly. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's about reserving the purity. So you come with this 2025 thing that people, we were talking about earlier off camera too, just like this whole doctrine that was already developed, you know what I'm saying? What's going to happen, what we're going to do, whatever and stuff. And he's trying to step away from it a little bit when they was kind of coming out. But then, day one, signing off all this stuff. Now DEI is the worst thing. I don't understand how you have anything that's diverse,
which we're going to talk about.
Equity, inclusion. How is that a bad thing? If I'm including, a black man, a black woman, or Latin woman, Latin man, or whatever, whether their sexual orientation or if they got like limitations as far as intellectual disabilities or handicap, like what's wrong with having somebody having a seat at the table and having an opinion? But like you say, it's almost like, okay, we want this to be this white man's country. It's always been our country, whatever and stuff. And now in the future, we're going to be the lower population of what it is, and we can't have this. So we need to erase our history, get rid of the education, you know what I'm saying, all this stuff. I mean, it's so systematic, the propaganda, the media, you know what I'm saying? This is, in my personal opinion, people may not agree with it, but it's almost like, we seen this 50, 60 years ago with Hitler. Him taking over all the countries. That happened in the 30s before he started invading countries in the 40s.
Yeah.
It was all, and it was subtle at the time, the propaganda. Now you're not allowing Jewish people to read certain material. Now you're controlling the media.
Weaponizing
now you're doing all that stuff. it's a slowly takeover, and then when you attack,
Yeah.
and now how we get to World War II. We've seen the history matters, yo.
Right.
You know what I'm
And it
saying?
repeats
And it
itself right
matters,
now.
and then whatever, and you can't like have the thought like, okay, oh, this could never happen again,
Yeah.
and not take it seriously, or not learn your history, or not even like, you know what I'm saying, in the sense of even like, well, I'm gonna sit back in that boat.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see Elon 2 or 3 times throw up the Nazi symbol, I think at that point, even if you're not politically inclined, you got to understand it. First of all,
that means.
if you do that in Germany, you'll be in prison. You can't. That's outlawed.
Exactly.
So I think it just speaks to where we are, right?
Yeah, man.
So, all right, we're gonna go back to what we have done in the past, and that's every single episode we underscore a business or a person, specifically a black-owned business or black person who is our dose of dopeness for the week, for the episode. And this episode's dose of dopeness goes to Mr. Kwame King. Can we clap it up for him?
Yeah.
Hey, salute. Thank you. I appreciate
Original
it.
Go Mob, baby.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Wait. So here's some things. Kwame's always been a good guy, good dude, man. Somebody I can talk to. We had these conversations, these sidebar conversations, from politics to chicks. Well, we won't talk about chicks no more. But politics and all this other stuff in life. There's been times when Kwame came and sat in my lectures one time and joined the conversations, and he's always been and he's also a stand-up father, stand-up man too. So that's just kind of from my perspective. Will you?
I agree with everything you said. I ditto that. I think he has a calm presence about himself, and it's always been there. But I think the older he gets, it comes out more, because I know when we all met Kwame was, came to school, he was like, I'm ready to party. I'm
ready to get drunk,
I'm ready to like turn up, like, so.
Wait.
I think as he got older, I think, you see more of the calm presence, and very intelligent person.
Right, absolutely.
I don't think get enough credit for some of the ideas and thoughts that he has about certain things. He definitely made me think about a lot of different things. Right. So, I think he's a great good dude overall,
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Kwame King is the original cool guy.
Exactly.
Yeah, he came in. He's the last addition to us, and he was Kashara's roommate. He was just the coolest person I met. Like, so cool.
Right.
I am not cool. I was with the shit.
And adaptable.
And adaptable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kwame seen some stuff,
Very
and
Yeah.
came from a wonderful family. So a full family as a mom and a dad in the house. Beautiful sisters. So you've always been a calming presence to us, and I love everything about you.
Right.
Yeah.
And to that point, that contradicted our situations. I think that's what made it work.
Yeah,
So,
because
right.
we didn't have that.
Well, we didn't
Yeah,
have
He was
that.
the only one who had that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I appreciate all y'all, man. I love all y'all, man. I'm glad that I was blessed to just meet, all of y'all in our journey at North Carolina Central University, and us carrying our friendship on. Even if we all may not talk every day, but it's like we never stop a beat as far as getting together and just be able to pick up where we left off at and everything. Just what I learned from each of y'all is like invaluable, man. So thank y'all, man, and I appreciate it, man. I really do.
No doubt. No
So,
doubt.
This is a wrap.